YouTubers, happy Sunday morning. It is such a gorgeous day here in Merritt, British Columbia. I'm just here at the parking lot of the local Walmart. I just came, sometimes I come and park here. I park over here, just kind of look, watch the view, watch everyone on the highway there. Good view of the mountains. Oh, it's the die for today. It's hot, but it's a nice dry hot, not this humid that was in Ontario when I was there. Anyways, okay. Somebody emailed me. Really nice written, detailed email. And I'll get to the point. All he asked is, yes, I could afford to buy now and pretty much pay down the entire home. What should I do, Mike? Should I buy now or should I continue renting? And his rent is $3,200 a month. He's living in like a semi-penthouse suite. He has a very, very high-end, lucrative job. Does very well, saving money, and he lives alone. And he's doing well. He's in his late 20s, believe it or not. And he just asked me, how do you feel this? What do you feel about this, Mike? How would you approach something like that? Where I usually generally talk about affordability is out of reach for most people. Where the cost of living is just too expensive for the average Canadian proper, for the average that has to compete with a lot of foreign deep pockets. Okay. So I replied to him and I said, do you want to put holes in your wall? Do you want to put up paintings? Do you want to start getting pets that you like to have? Because he mentioned that it was a no pet environment. Well, usually when someone mentions no pets and I'm renting, usually that means that's on their mind because maybe they want a dog, maybe they want a nice Labrador or a cat or whatever, fish or whatever. Okay, fair enough. Do you want to paint your walls? Do you want to wallpaper some walls? You know, when you rent, it's very hard to get away with doing things like that because then you're going to pay an enormous amount of damages to reverse the property. Do you want a backyard? Do you want, you know what I'm saying? These are choices you have when the housing prices aren't a problem. He's now in a fear of paying more for a house than what it's realistically worth. That's what his fear is. And he's been watching my channel for about 2 years now. And he told me he's at fear of buying a home, free and clear, just pretty much buying it right down. But the problem is he's in fear of losing value on his home. And I told him, how bad, you're not 30 yet. How bad do you want to lay roots? How bad do you want to... So I wrote him a detailed email with all these questions. He wrote back, it's like, Mike, I'd love to hang up my, put holes in the wall, like you said. LOL. Mike, I'd love to paint walls and break down different rooms for different usage for work. One for work, an office for work, for example, a home theater room. He says a gym, stuff like that. He was mentioning the gym in my house because he watched my video. I really want to do that. I can, but I don't think I'll be allowed to as a renter. So I said to him, how much is the money worth to you? Can you make that money back that you're putting down? So he's been saving so he's almost 30. He says he's been saving for 6 years straight, working really hard, cutting back on a lot of things. He says, yes, his rent is pretty high. And that's one of the mistakes he made. He didn't kind of low-key it. Kind of went low-key with his rent, which is fine. When I was in, where was I? In Kansas City, I was in a place for, I don't know, it's like a month or something. I was in a high-end scale, but it was for a month, so I wasn't there for permanent. But you have this different feeling of ambience around you when you have all this space and big windows and high ceilings and all this vast amount of hardwood flooring, and it's a different ambience, a different feeling on the soul, But anyways, he wrote back and he said, Mike, I do want, and the money could always be made back, which is true. Yeah, I've been up and down many times in my lifetime. And he said, yeah, money could be made back very easily. It's so he's going to think about it, and he might buy a house and buy it down up in West Vancouver. And I told him, maybe reconsider, instead of living up in West Van, where it's like the Beverly Hills of Vancouver, maybe go to like, I'm just trying to think. I was telling him along the Canadian-US border, there's a lot of towns there, and if he doesn't mind the commute, he could pick up a house for half the price with a bit more land. Because the one thing now he's craving for is land. But he was asking me, is land worth the loss that he could potentially take on the house if it loses value? And that's what he's scared of. So, to be very frank with you, it's all in the heart now. If you could go out and buy a house, free and clear, me, I did it. But mind you, I didn't pay it anywhere near what he's going to pay. Because I wouldn't pay that much for a house. It's just not worth it. A place to sleep, you know what I mean? But I wanted the bang for my buck. It's different. I wanted the bang for my buck. I wanted all the bedrooms, the huge backyard. That's what I wanted. I wanted the bang for it all. He's looking for more semi-class, well-to-do, upbeat area. You know, you want to walk around just like Gary Cooper with a nice tie and looking good. You know what I'm saying? I get it, right? And there's different lifestyles people want to live. But the answer to his question is, can you make the money back? Can you make that money back if you do lose it? And because you're not going to take a second and third mortgage and you have no revolving debt, according to what you told me, and no auto loan, can you lose? And if you do lose, is it worth the soul? Is it worth it like that you've felt accomplished? So if the house goes down 200-300, so if you realistically buy a house for $700 instead of $2.4 million, the house $700,000 goes down to $4. You realistically lost $400,000. Where if a house is 2.4, which you were mentioning, and it goes down to 1.1, that's pretty sour, and I'd be kind of bitter for about a decade if that happened to me in a housing thing. And I'm very pro bang for the buck housing and affordable housing for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So your situation is a completely different question that I have ever been asked in the history that I've had my channel talking about housing, and it's a very unique one. Can you stomach losing that much money? That is the question. That is the answer to you. Can you stomach? Do you want to lose that much money? Or what if the market continues to go up? You'll have no neighbors in another 5 years. Everybody will move out of the area you are living in because they can't afford to live there anymore, realistically. So you got to keep that perspective in mind. Am I going to still have neighbors in 5 years? That's something you need to ask yourself. But if I move, like to White Rock, South area along the US-Canada border, there's lots of homes and developments there, and decent homes with some decent land. You need to ask yourself, are you willing to take the commute, right? If you move into the, like White Rock-ish area. I'm just trying to think what that other town is. I know that's really good there, over by the U.S. border. There's another town there. It's really nice there. I've been there a few times. Houses are semi-reasonably priced. You're a stone's throw away. Basically, you would be here, and the border would be right there where that fence is. There's a lot of good homes in those areas. I gotta pick up a map sometime and look at the southern part of Richmond there, south. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. My answer is basically, can you stomach losing? Is it okay if you lose that much money if the pricing? And do you want to live in complete isolation? You buy a home like that, even though you do have neighbors, and it is an upbeat neighborhood, and it's a very affluent area to be. My question to you is, do you want to be alone regardless? Let me know what you guys think. If you want to add to this, please comment below. I'd like to know, because I've never had anyone ask me this kind of question, where it's the reverse, where they're just willing to buy free and clear. And my answer to him, and I'm going to repeat myself, is, are you willing to lose X amount of money? And if you're comfortable losing that much money, but you'll be happy in the long run, can you make it back? Probably in 30 years, you could probably make back the loss, because houses are superly overinflated right now. Anyways, guys, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Big hug to everyone. Huge shout outs. Happy Sunday. Gorgeous day here in Merritt. Thanks for watching.